on what I'm running in the background, so we should be all set. Hooray!
Okay, cool. All right. I apologize for the delays here. I'm going to take 2 minutes to set a push-to-talk key that makes sense, so please stick with it.
Sure, I'm going to run an ad.
All right, let's try that one more time. How am I coming in?
Good.
Cool. Everybody can hear me. Everybody can hear the music, right? It was no longer that fucking pop beat that started playing for some reason.
Yep, you're good. Yep.
Cool.
Okay. Good.
All right. We will start the recording. So we opened the session looking down in a pool of water. Raindrops smattering the surface, obscuring our ability to see any sort of reflection. Though with as brown and murky as the water is, we weren't likely to see much anyway. The rain falls heavy here in the swamp, splashing against the canopy and the pools of water that litter the ground. It makes it so loud that you can't hear the person standing right next to you. The thunder, however, you can still hear that. A bright bolt of lightning crisscrosses the sky before the magnificent force of vibration rocks the area. From off-camera, the sound of panting and running footsteps, though not as loud as one might expect. A brown leather boot slams down in the puddle that we've been focused on, leaving behind several dancing strands of water, as well as a red blood mixed in. The camera pans up to see two figures, one leaning heavily on the other, running towards a crumbling stone tower alone in the swamp. The tower is dark, unlit from any form of torch, campfire, or sign of life. With a loud slam, we hear a door close. Despite the bloated nature of the wooden door left in the swamp without maintenance, the weighty thing is able to be wedged back into place. One of the two figures searches the room and finds a standing iron candlestick holder. They jam it in under the handle of the door, almost in a way to kind of wedge it to keep the door from being forced. Still breathing heavily, this person reaches up to their hood, attached to their cloak, and pulls it down, revealing an elven woman with brown hair. Her long ears protrude well outside of the short cut she wears it in. We see that her face is lined with tattoos or markings, dark lines that cross and weave into patterns. The second figure, the one that's pretty clearly injured, pulls his hood down as well. He is an elven man, shoulder-length brown hair with several braids and his own tattoos and markings that are present. Different pattern, but clearly intentional, all the same. What the fuck was that? He stammers through the pain, a grimace on his face. Not sure, she replies, wiping water, sweat, and mud from her face. But once I'm sure it didn't follow us, I'm going back for Dorian. Fuck all that, the man replies. You saw what I saw. That thing took one look at her and she turned into ash. Dorian is dead. Maybe. The woman strides across the room and lifts the man's cloak, revealing a bloody mess of his shirt. And if we don't take care of you, you'll be joining him. Removing a torch from a nearby wall sconce, she flicks her fingers, and without any other interaction, it ignites into a bright blaze. We see more wholly the room for what it is now, an abandoned ruin, dust and cobwebs having reclaimed what is basically a flooded, moldy, mossy scene. Turtles didn't build these. She pipes in again, examining her surroundings. No, someone else did. A very long time ago. Her companion responds, hobbling over to a corner table, half collapsing into the chair. It groans as the wet wood is strained and tested. The camera shot stays in place, a good vantage of the room, now mostly lit from the light of the torch. Old ruined bannerments hang from the walls, furniture rots away, and a pair of red eyes watch quietly from a dark corridor at the edge of the room, just beyond the...
That's quite the thing.
Sure will be. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Everybody feel free to grab a drink, do whatever you need to do.
All right. I'm going to run another ad. It doesn't seem to like the ads, so you don't get an ad.
Well, that's good. What sort of businesses are we supporting?
I don't know. Maybe they all, pulled out, so could be. Yeah, this is really reinforcing the fact that I need to get a new streaming machine. Not just for this, but I have a Tuesday game. Let's do a big campaign to gain some our friend viewers, and we'll fundraise for a Spencer's new stream machine, which I'll pay for most of it, but someone they'll buy me a cool case or something like that.
Once again, ask.
There you go.
Using my 2015 or 14 iMac is not doing me good. I painted my first miniature today, though. That was good.
Rob, you're coming in pretty quiet, my man. It just sounds like you're far away from the mic, so I'm not really making out much. I've got you turned up to almost 200% too, so.
Yeah, I've got you maxed out. I can barely.
If you go under your user settings, under voice and video, do you have your output volume? No difference.
I am.
Yeah, no, other one's next. Max.
Well, I will try to turn you up to 200% then, and I guess we'll just hope for the best. You and I should try to troubleshoot that, because that's not good. I don't think anybody can hear you.
No. You, Oh, okay. Well, we're just gonna keep having technical issues, because I am getting some locking up and freezing. But
it's just not meant to happen, I suppose.
No, we got this. We could do this.
All right.
Ooh, so beautiful.
So, as I had previously mentioned in the recap, you have, Clipper, recently been accosted by this guy.
Oh, hi.
He came up, threw you at your friends, and was yelling something at his friends, and being insulted by the fact that you're even here. Rallic had used his channel divinity to try to restrain the man, which did not work. However, this person came rushing up, having noticed the scene, and most of the guards have noticed now too. The woman that you see runs up and kind of puts her hand on the man's shoulder. He shrugs it away before she pulls him back again and locks eyes with him. You see him kind of look around for a moment, breathing heavily, and look back to all of you. She says, let it go. We'll solve all of this tomorrow, okay? He turns to the rest of you, clearly still in an aggressive posture. What would you like to do?
I would like to... I think since I got shoved to the ground, I'd like to stand up meekly and kind of back away, just kind of putting the little metal boy behind me and looking over to Vol and saying, "What is going on?" Should...
You're off-putting the most, especially those who have never met you behind.
That's understandable, but I've offered to leave, and I've done this person no harm. I look... Oh, go ahead.
I think it was just a misunderstanding. Continue to talk him down.
Misunderstanding? No. This was just someone being completely intolerant. Sir, look, I'm going to get out of your way. I don't want to cause any more aggression here. Can I leave? Am I free to go?
Instead of responding to your question, he seems to be hanging on something you said. He reaches up to the clasp that's at his shoulder where his armor meets his cloak, and he undoes it, and he pulls down the front of his armor. It's like a very thin leather, it looks like. It probably doesn't even offer much protection. It more or less just serves as a shirt. As he pulls it away, you see his chest is just a ruinous mess of scars and burns. And he looks you in the eyes and said, "Did no harm." He hooks the leather back up to the cloak and turns to his companion and says, "Let's go."
Okay.
Clipper, did you just do that to him? I've been standing here the whole time. Didn't do that.
I didn't...
Yeah, were those all, like, older-looking wounds?
Yeah, they appear to have been there for a while. Mostly just having been scarred over and worn with time.
I still ask that same question.
Yeah, for sure.
You must mean the other Warforged.
I could see that being traumatic. I guess I didn't think about it from that perspective. I've heard about what my kind are able to do on the battlefield, but still, this is... We're trying to make things right. Although I don't know how I feel now with what we've been told about reparations we're asking for. Anyway, everyone's all right.
After a moment, the woman, she kind of rushes back over. She's got both hands in the air. Sorry. He's got a bit of a temper. I hope he didn't hurt you too badly.
No.
Tia, like, slowly stands up and kind of, like, wipes a little bit of blood off her face.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she, like, heads in your direction to try to help you up. I don't know if anybody responds to that, but...
Oh, I'm okay. Ow. Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, I almost died earlier. I'm fine.
No big deal.
Out in the swamp?
I mean, we were underground, so we were in the vicinity of the swamp.
Yeah, this place is something else. There's something that wants to kill you about every 25 feet. I'm sorry that my companion is also one of those things. She kind of like puts a hand behind her head and scratches at the back of. Anyway, again, I'm sorry. My name's Yodel. I'll try to keep him away from you all.
It seems like he's been through a lot. I don't know, is there anything we can do to help him? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, she looks down and says, he's been fighting a long time. A lot of us have. But, I mean, I think just by looking at you, I know why you're here, right? We're all here for the same reason. Hopefully tomorrow all of this ends and everybody can just go home. I think that's the best way to help him.
Yeah, that sounds good. I have a weird question to ask.
Okay.
Sorry. So I was over at the shop over there earlier, and there were some like really interesting like salvaged parts from individuals that are a little bit like my friend here, and she'll gesture at Clipper. Do you know anything about that? Like, I would love to see any additional pieces if you or your friend know where those might have come from, or I don't know. I just want to look at them.
She kind of eyes you and then looks at Clipper. Are you asking if we have any, broken versions of your friend lying around?
I mean, yeah. Like, I honestly I like to look at things and take them apart, and obviously I don't want to do that to my friend. That would be kind of awful. But if you have like bits, like not even like a whole one, just like a couple little pieces that I could look at, I would really appreciate it.
Well, I've never been here before, but it's not uncommon for our people to travel here to trade. I'm from the Irawaki Plains. We're to the west of here. We border this place, and most of the scrap and salvage that we get from battle, we come to trade here. Well, we're certainly not coming north to trade with you all. She kind of laughs uncomfortably.
Yeah, I mean, just getting there in and of itself would be a pain with all the political stuff aside. But yeah, I don't know if you ever like come across stuff. I'd love to see it. Also, that is a familiar place. Do you have a map? Could you like show us?
A map? I don't have a map. What do you want to map up?
Like everything? Maybe?
She laughs nervously and says, I'll tell you what. I might be able to draw something up. Maybe tonight. I could try to give it to you tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, that's so awesome. That is very, very kind of you. I keep asking for things from you, and I don't have anything to offer in turn, except for apparently really enraging your friend. So
Well,
you can, like...
I mean, he did throw your friend at you, so it's the least I can do.
I guess.
Look, don't think anything of it. I'm not much of an artist, but I will do my best to give you a map of where I know and what I know. Is that...
That's so helpful. I feel like we should be giving you something back, but I'll think on it.
She kind of smiles and puts her hands down on her belt and kind of puffs her chest. No big deal. I'm happy to help. But I'm sorry I didn't get your name.
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. I'm really bad at this. I'm Tia, and this over here is my friend Clipper, and like she'll just go around and introduce everybody whether they're paying attention or not.
Yeah, she's super enthusiastic to shake your hand and reintroduces herself as Yodel. I'll put that in.
Hey, Yodel, I'm Rallick. I'm from the other side of the swamp up there in Gray Harbor.
Oh, I've heard of that place. I've never been. It's pretty far east, but and then like as Tia continues to introduce people, you see her quickly become overwhelmed, and she's like yodel, 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 as like she continues to shake hands, and she kind of stops at Clipper and doesn't really put a hand out, and she's like, "Sorry,
No,
habits, I guess."
that's okay. There is reasons. I assume I'm fine.
Well, hopefully tomorrow, maybe we could get to know each other a little bit better.
Agreed. That would be
All right.
nice.
I'm gonna go make sure Umra doesn't knock a shop down or something. I'll catch you all later. And she kind of just runs off.
Can I just grab her before she does that? And
Sure. Yeah, you put a hand on her arm, and she kind of turns to you and looks as she tries to run.
I look over at the party and I lean in. I'm just like, do you know of a orc that wears a red mask?
Her eyes kind of narrow. A lot of us wear masks into battle. You have a name?
All I know is he's big, mean, has a war hammer, red mask.
She
Ring any bells?
She kind of scratches at her temple and looks at you and says, "Doesn't ring a bell."
I'm spacing out on the name of the battle, but I want to lean in and be like, maybe been at this battle? Insert name that I do not remember at the moment.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I don't have it in front of me either, but she kind of pulls her arm away from you at this point and looks a little uncomfortable. And I've only recently really started hitting the field. I've got a few battles under my. She looks at you all nervously.
I lean in, just grab her shoulder a little bit more.
And she rolls her shoulder back. She's really not comfortable with the whole contact thing, right?
I tell her, it's like, you ask your friends if they've seen him. And if any of them know who he is, tell them I'm coming for him.
Yeah, she takes the disengage action and then heads off towards her friend. She doesn't say anything else to you. She kind of just squirms out of your grasp and then heads off. It's worth noting she probably stands about a good 2 or 3 inches taller than you, and she's got a decent build to her, but there wasn't a lot of aggression there. I guess, you know what, go ahead and make an insight check. Since you didn't call for it, I will. If you're not in a position to make one, let me know and I can do that.
No, I can't. I just didn't have my character sheet.
Yeah, no problem. I just saw your note that you were driving, and I was like, oh Jesus, don't try to do.
No, I got home. That's why.
As far as you know, that is the most honest thing anybody has ever said to you.
Wow.
If anybody
Rourke,
else
we're here
that
to
is,
make
I was going to say, if anybody else that is proficient in insight, you have to be proficient. Would like to make a check, we can do that. But sorry, Ralph.
I'm paying attention. I'll make a roll. Oh yeah, looking at him sternly. We're here to make peace.
I'm just tying up loose ends. How can I move forward if I can't bury my past?
I mean,
Not by making threats.
they're like doctors for that, right?
If you can't move
I don't
on,
need a
save it
doctor,
for another
I need a
time.
battlefield.
At least save that until the peace talks are done, or don't join in with the peace talks.
Yeah, I suppose, I mean, right, there's a time and a place.
If there has to be a time and a place, it's definitely not here, Rourke.
Now's my best time to find them.
Are you planning on doing something to prevent this peace talks, Rourke? Is that your
No,
intention? That's why you're here?
my intention is to fight him in honorable combat. Any gentleman would see to it that I have my way.
So, like, who is this person, and why do you need to, like, bite your thumb at him and stuff?
Oh, I just want to leave him for dead. You know, like he left me. I walk off.
Ouch.
Oh, were they? Do you think they were like friends or something? Because like people leave each other for dead on the battlefield all the time, right? Like that's not weird unless it's a friend, right? What is happening? I'm so confused.
Didn't
Yeah,
sound like he was a friend. That's it.
You're right.
But you can let Ryan condense down his point for us.
Oh, he doesn't have to. He walked away.
As the two of you are kind of talking to each other about the situation, Vivar is kind of like doing that like super anime thing where he peers over one of your shoulders and then is peering over, looking at your wounds, and he slowly starts tossing out some healing to the two of you. So, Rallick, you get 8 points of healing. Tia, you get 6 points of healing.
I don't even remember what I got hurt by.
Clipper, he was thrown at you.
Oh, he hit me too? Oh,
Yep.
I thought he hit someone else. Okay.
Well, that was terrifying.
Yes. And the problem is we're probably going to be encountering them again. But we're going to have to get used to working with people that hate us.
She was very reasonable and like kind of lovely, actually. Maybe
Yeah.
he could be too if we work at it.
Well, at least she's trying to work on him. I'm more work. Well, I mean, it's more on us to work on Rorik. Keep him from starting something.
Yeah, I don't know what to do about that.
I'm so glad we're all back together. He kind of like throws his arms around you guys.
You know what, Bivar? You're definitely somebody that we needed here to cheer us up, because oftentimes we seem to get a little pessimistic.
Everything's going to be great after this all happens. You can all do whatever you want to do. You can come visit, or I could come visit. It'll be great.
I guess we'll be able to travel more freely without worry about, demilitarized zones and things like that.
I don't know those words.
Oh. Well, it's a bunch of trenches that have marked certain parts of the country.
Oh,
You know.
I hear
Okay.
they're really good for wildlife.
Yeah, just like, they're like, I guess, well, would they be? I don't know.
Yeah, they're like unsettled territory, undisturbed, and like genuinely good for wildlife. It basically creates a park.
True. Alright. Well, where to? We were headed to the tavern, weren't we?
That is totally up to you guys. You can do whatever you would like to do. Rorik, before you fully walk away from the gentleman to your south, you had some bones and things like that you had kept from a hydra, and you were curious about getting them worked into armor. This
Correct.
guy would be capable of that based on the conversations you heard him having yesterday.
I'm gonna go north, turn around, and be like, oh, I gotta go this way, and just walk past everyone awkwardly.
Yeah.
So you've got all this like clanking armor in your pocket.
One of
the
those
boots.
moments. Oof. Oh, hi. Did you come back to go get... We were gonna go get, some drinks. Well, not me.
You don't
Yeah.
drink.
Were you gonna talk to us and tell?
This is awkward.
Well, it's kind of like when we saw you again, Vol, after you left, right? It's almost as if we're not supposed to be apart.
Awkward occurrences keep happening.
Well, all you need to know is when I find that orc, I'm gonna beat the crap out of him.
What are you chewing on?
Sorry, I have.
He's
I
got
have
this like
pizza.
he's got a fish
Yeah.
that's pretty clearly skewered, like from tail to mouth. It's big. It's like it looks like it's about the size of your forearm. And he's just kind of chewing on it. He didn't have it when he walked away.
Ooh,
Yeah.
street food.
Is there a
Street food.
is there a
See,
fish
I-
monger?
always come prepared. I caught this days ago. You just didn't notice.
Did you? Ew.
It's like fully cooked, and from behind him you can see a stand selling.
I didn't know you were a fisherman.
But yes, I would like to go to the armor guy.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so he'd greet you like, "Hello there. How is it that I can help you?"
Oh.
Is this is the first time I actually saw this guy. Is this guy supposed to be Beast from the X-Men?
You're the second person who said it, but not really. But yes, now it's canon.
Where's the professor?
Him?
That works.
That works. Okay.
I mean, he's
I'll
bald.
have to cripple him later, but okay. I need some. I would like my bones to be converted into armor. Hydra bones, not my bones. Here you
Yeah,
go.
he looked at you real wide until you clarified. Okay.
I mean, if you could make my bones into armor, have them regenerate around me, that'd be cool. But I'm not asking for miracles.
No, that's absolutely not something I could do for you, but I believe. And he kind of like picks up the Hydra bones and holds them from hand to hand. He takes two of the rib bones and kind of holds them against your body, with the inner part of the rib kind of against like your mid torso, and the wraparound going over either shoulder. I think I could make you a nice breastplate. It would be lighter than usual, and well, you brought me the materials, and I'm already working with bone. Say 200 gold.
I don't actually remember how much gold we had.
You got 289 last week. You would
I
know that is half of what a breastplate would normally cost you.
Nice. I drop the bag on the man's table. I'm assuming he has a table.
Oh, yeah, there's a table.
Like gingerly drop, not just like abruptly pull out coin case drop, but no. And I'll be like, here you go. And out of curiosity, have you seen any large male orcs might have had the red mask on them pass by here? By chance?
Sorry, sir. The records of all of my patrons are strictly confident.
I'll throw in an extra 50.
Make a persuasion check with advantage. He slides the 50 gold back in your direction and says, "Sorry, just not that kind of merchant, but best of luck to you.
Listen,
you could pick this up
I
tomorrow."
want as he pushes the gold back towards me, I just gently grab his wrist. I'm like, I have waited 3 years to find this orc. I have suffered through hell to get this far. If you have seen this orc, please, I need closure.
So you reach for his wrist and you grab it, and your hand goes about a third of the way around his wrist. He's a very large person.
I will accept this, but I'm not being like aggressive. I'm just being ginger.
Sure. He just he's looking at you and looking at your hand on his wrist and says, I'll ask you again to please let me go.
Fine.
Your breastplate will be ready in the morning. He turns and hits the sword that he's currently, evening out on his anvil, and Rorik, Tia, Vol, Answer, and Clipper all within that range. Like, you feel the ground shake a little bit when he hits the hammer on the anvil for the first time. It's not quite as bad the second time, but yeah, he just goes about pounding the project he's working on there.
You can't rush a quality job. That's what they say. Let's go see if we can meet anybody else in the town who can give us a little bit of advice on what to do while we're here. I thought we were for sure going to get in an altercation with those orcs. I can't believe we didn't, but I guess that would have been awkward in the middle of the town.
Yeah, that doesn't seem good for, the whole peace talk thing. Plus, that guy was huge!
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we want to avoid that for today.
I should work on my close combat. Shooting people in a misunderstanding might be a little too lethal.
That does seem like an overreaction for like a bar fight.
Yeah. Oh, think about that. Anyway, okay, yeah, let's go to the bar. I suppose that's the last place left, and then maybe we could talk to the town leadership, something like that.
Sure, I could use a drink.
Unless this is just an informal kind of, trade stop. There's no leadership.
There is definitely a tavern. You were told about that. Let's find the name of... Oh, that's right. It's this one up here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So this is the Crowbar, which is a tavern that has a sign hanging over front. It's painted wood. It looks like a crow, and it's holding a crowbar. That would be the tavern, if you guys wanted to head over there.
Sure. Relic, while he's going through town, is going to look for some overpriced tourist crap to get his mom something.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, let's say, go ahead and roll me an investigation check. Okay. Yeah, at the general store, which is that Crafty Quagmire hobby store, you managed to find... Let me take a look here. So at the store, you find this dress, and you're especially having just recently seen her, like, you're pretty sure that with a little bit of tailoring, this dress would fit your mom. It's really high quality, and it's actually really clean. And it's the only clean thing that you've seen in this entire town. So
she
that's
loves
something.
Clean things. Yeah, she'd love it. She loves clean things. So, yeah, I'll ask how expensive it is.
The guy behind the counter takes a look at it and takes a look at you and tries to size you up a little bit. He says for 8 silver, you can have it.
I will pay the 8 silver without haggling.
Okay. Yeah, he takes your 8 silver, and he doesn't have a box or anything to put it in, so he just kind of motions to you to take it with you.
Yeah, I will fold it up and put it in my pack and rejoin the others at the bar.
Yeah, he's counting his 8 silver and waves goodbye as you head out the door.
Thanks, she'll love it.
Don't know who she is.
Yep.
Oh,
Sorry, I was laughing at the chat that's going on here. No, the dress is too big for Ralik's mom, was the comment, but with a little tailoring, it would fit. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you guys are heading over to the Crowbar, the gentleman behind the counter is just your standard looking turtle folk. He's standing back there. He's got some mugs and some kind of an open barrel. It appears to be the only thing behind the counter. Vol, it smells delicious. Everybody else, it smells horrifying.
Okay. Well, I can definitely smell it, and
Bark, since it's my home, I should treat you all to a drink. We get one of those for everyone, or I guess how much for the whole barrel?
As soon as you're about 3/4 of your way through your speech, he goes, "Welcome to the Crowbar. How can I help you?"
Oh, excuse my manners. My time with these land dwellers has made me haste.
Whoa, slow down.
I'm sorry, I've been with them for months. I guess I've picked up a step.
He giggles and basically sticks an empty cup into the barrel and takes his own drink out of there and drinks it.
So, we'll be here for the night. How much for the whole barrel? I should probably treat my friends. My home.
He looks at it. It's about half a barrel. 10 gold pieces?
That sounds like a fair deal. And here's a couple extra just for being a good sport.
And it gives him 5 more.
Wow.
Wow.
Quite the tip.
Yeah, he takes it and he nods to you and turns around, and this hardy-looking turtle lad picks up the barrel and puts it on the bar and says, "Oh, wait. Do you want to drink it here, or do you want to take it with you?"
Oh, good question. I didn't think that far ahead. Do you guys want to drink here, or somewhere? I mean, we could probably drink somewhere outside. It's not every night you get to spend in the swamp.
You can drink wherever you want.
Is there like a patio?
Yeah, we'll say that there is an outdoor area that is made of dirt and stone. We'll just pretend like this bottom wall here doesn't exist. So everything south of here is outdoors.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because, to no surprise, there's no shower here. There's no sink here.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's like a stone patio. I can carry it out there for you if you'd like.
I could carry it if you'd get... We need 6, 7 cups, and, Clifford, does your little friend drink?
Children aren't allowed to drink at the Crowbar.
Oh.
I don't think he's a child. I think it's just a small thing.
I'm just kidding. Everyone's allowed to drink at the Crowbar.
You use the T word. Only we can use that word. Okay.
He laughs and he says, "Go ahead and take your barrel. I'll bring the mugs out. Just leave them on the table when you're done, and if it's not too much trouble, leave the barrel here. We'll reuse it."
Fair enough.
Appreciate it.
So, that being said, I guess I'll go sit down and watch you all drink this delicious beverage without any sort of enjoyment of that. Just going to be here watching that.
Well, I don't think Perry's going to drink the murky swamp water either. But anybody else that would like to drink? We'll say that you guys hang out here for the next few hours as the day kind of rolls on. You can drink as much or as little as you'd like to, but I want to know who's drinking. I want to know who's trying to get fucked up.
I am
is-
not. Sorry, go
Go on.
ahead.
Oh, Ralik is just nursing a single drink.
Okay. Anybody
Yeah.
else nursing a single drink?
I imagine T is probably doing the same thing, and she's probably also like trying to figure out if it would be like a good cleaning solution, like maybe rubbing a little bit of it on Rosie's like dirty bits. That sounded so bad.
Is this
Whoa.
is this is this more of a wine or
Hold
an ale
on.
or a
The
spirit?
brothels down there.
Oh no.
This is from what you can tell, this is like just fermented water. There's like mushrooms floating in it. There are it's not like there's anything swimming in there. Like it definitely appears to be sterile from a alcohol content perspective. But yeah, we'll say okay, so we've got Perry and Clipper are not drinking. Tia and Ralik are maybe having a single drink. Eligor,
I want to
Rorik,
take a sip.
sure.
Just a single sip and see how it tastes.
Okay. Yeah, when
Okay.
you drink it, you're surprised. It basically just kind of tastes like what you would know as maybe like vodka. Like it's got a very strong, potent taste to it, but it doesn't necessarily taste bad. Like there's some fruit mixed in there. There's kind of like an earthy tone to it from the mushrooms and things like that. It's no, not necessarily bad vodka. Kind of just like a. It's just got that bite to it that you would expect with a vodka.
All right, I have my sip. I'm gonna put my entire cup down and start chugging.
All right, so Rorik is in. Eligor, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take some drinks off that glass of top tier board and stuff.
Okay, yeah, you Vol presents you with a drink, and you sort of start drinking your own. Vol, what are you doing?
Drinking and putting things from my shell in it, dipping mushrooms in it,
Oh,
all kinds of drinking.
Dipping mushrooms in it. I see.
It's like a homecoming party.
Bivar's kind of doing the little brother thing, like he looks to see how much you're drinking and then tries to drink as much. So I need Ralik, Rorik, I'll do Bivar, Eligor, Vol, and Tia to all make Constitution saving throws as you all sit here drinking the afternoon away.
Oh yeah, Ralik takes after his mom.
Yeah, you're like, what? This is what? I thought we ordered alcohol.
No, like this was breakfast as a kid, guys.
Yeah, exactly. Alright, let's check Bivar. Ooh, Bivar's hanging in there. Okay. So, Tia, in a turn of events after the one, maybe like halfway through that first drink, you're super happy that you're not drinking a lot of it because it hits you like a truck and you're kind of like, ooh, maybe I'll just sit here and listen to everybody else talk for a while. Vol,
Maybe.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Maybe ask Perry about that hookah.
Perry looks at you very excited, and he's like still holding it, which might be why he's not drinking. So yes, it's very large. I'm very much looking forward to getting it back to my tent, and I would invite you to join me later.
That's fair. Perry. You're the best.
I don't really feel the alcohol, but I'm just gonna keep chugging. I'm gonna chug until I feel it.
So Ralik, you feel fine. Vol, the problem with you is you've put this barrel next to yourself, and you've just and all. It's probably about 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the evening, somewhere around there. And you do that thing where you're like, oh no, I'm shit-faced. And you're kind of just looking around at everybody. Rorik, you definitely feel it. Eligor, you don't feel shit. Bivar's feeling okay as well.
Guys, this whole time I've been wondering something, and I guess maybe now, since this is probably our last night together, it would be appropriate to ask, why do you all wear clothes?
Well, even I wear clothes. It's because it makes everybody else more comfortable, which is, I think, the reason they do it too.
Well, plus it, like, it keeps you warm when it's not warm outside, you know? And it, like, keeps dirt off of you, which I guess you don't care about that, but you know.
Not
You
sure.
know, it keeps you from getting stabbed in the chest.
Oh, well, my
And
goodness.
crushed by
yeah.
goddamn
Yeah, and, like,
hammer.
burned and stuff. Like
But
that
your
guy with all
skull
the...
still gets fractured.
Oh,
What?
I don't know what
This
that's...
is very, very specific.
I'm not sure I understand warm and cold.
What are amphibians? They're like more reptiles or warm?
You're cold-blooded, yeah.
Cold-blooded, yeah.
And you still have, like, a skeleton on the inside, so you're kind of just, like, extra protected.
Plus, my chest is really hard. I don't know what Ralik's talking about, but Rorik, but I can't remember these R names. But it's hard to stab my chest.
I grab him in a drunken stupor and it's like, you don't know shit.
And Rorik, behind you feel hands kind of touching your skull as Byvar has gotten up and circumnavigated the table, and he's like, I'm pretty sure your skull's not fractured. He's
It
just
was
kind of like
healed.
touching all the different parts of your head.
He's just a drama queen.
I am not a drama queen. I almost
No,
died.
That's
You
what
are
Dad
definitely... Oh, wait. Was that a joke?
said. What?
Does this
I-
look like a joke? And I just pull up my chest. I pull up my shirt and show my chest. Like, does it look like I'm joking?
What are we looking
What do we
at?
see?
I see skin. You have skin.
And scars.
Good.
See these scars? You wanna know how I got these scars?
Oh my god, yes. How?
God damn orc gave it to me. The red mask. That goddamn warhammer. I'm gonna make him pay.
Wow.
Oh, Clipper, those are
You
like...
wore...
Clipper, you gave those scars to that orc earlier.
No, I didn't do either of those things. That's...
Those were old, like those are old on Rorik. They were old.
Yeah,
Lots of
These-
things like that happen.
These are 3 years old.
They look old.
Okay, so... Wait, are y'all...
Clipper, you're pretty sure you're also 3 years old.
Yep, that's true. I'm 3 years old.
That's
Congratulations,
old.
Clipper.
Wait, is it
You're just
your
bad as
birthday?
the orcs.
No, I don't know what my birthday is exactly.
It's Clipper's birthday.
No, okay.
Clipper, drink this.
I mean, I could look and see if they printed it somewhere inside my... Oh, okay. Oh, this is sticky.
Guys, is your birthday the day that you're laid in your egg, or the day that you hatch?
I think it's
I feel like
Oh, it's
you
the day
get
you hatch.
the day you hatch.
2 birthdays. You get 2 birthdays.
Wow. I'm double old.
Oh my god, you are.
Wow.
This is nice, I guess.
Quiet, robot. And I just tossed the leftover ale I have at him.
I think you've had enough to drink, Rorik.
I don't
Wait.
think you've had enough.
Yeah, the second it splatters all over the table and all over Clipper, Perry kind of jumps down and begins cleaning things up.
Well, welcome to our second bottle episode in a row.
Rourke, I have a
Rallic,
question.
you're just a goody two shoes. Goddamn half elf.
You're just being irresponsible. You're just thinking about yourself. We're here for a reason.
He slides down the bench towards you.
Hey, just because
I know where my place is.
Bull has now stood up
don't know
on
where
the
the
table.
doors is.
I'm glad you know, so we won't have to put you in your place.
Them's fighting words.
it was nice of Rallic to buy something for his mom, it doesn't mean he's a goody two shoes. It just
Yeah, you should.
cares.
Everybody should do that for their mom.
I've been here a day and I haven't even seen my mom.
Oh my
Your
god,
mom's
we
here?
should go see your mom.
She's
Tell her thank you because she gave you 2 birthdays.
I wonder if she did that on purpose.
Oh my god, your mom is so cool.
Wow. Whoa, I should see her before I leave.
God, give her some flowers too. Oh man, we could like make her a present.
Do you think that... Yeah. And do you think she'll like my hair?
Why? She's gonna be jealous of your hair because it's beautiful.
I appreciate it. That means a lot to me. I wish I kept some oil for her to use because she's bald too, and you all have nice hair, and she could be jealous.
I'm become.
Maybe you can you like make a sprout a cutting of it maybe and give it to your mom for her to put on her hair?
You're a genius, Eligor.
No.
You're good at herbs. Can you pick some of these flowers and make like a goo out of it to put on my mom's head? We can try it on Rourke's chest covered in scars.
Yeah, because it's like tender.
Don't touch
Even
me.
though they're old, we want to.
I think it's about
Only
this
one
time.
person can touch me, and you're not her.
Rourke has a girlfriend.
Damn right I do.
Just
Why do you think I want to beat up that orc so bad?
What? You said he gave you scars with the warhammer. How does he give you scars with the warhammer? That's a blunt.
My ribs
Force
poked out of
object.
my chest. He collapsed my lung. He broke my arm and fractured my skull.
That's a lot of broken stuff.
I should have died, but she saved me. My Valkyrie.
Wow, she sounds
That's why the
awake.
sun is better than the moon.
Oh.
Fuck your moon.
Why? No. She sounds really cool, though. Why would she date you?
Oh.
That was me. Man.
I'm sorry. She just mad me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Fucking zing.
Oh, I have like the outside of the moment where Vol does like the finger snap on both sides of the head and just go,
oh no, you didn't.
You're like mean and stuff, though. Are you nice? Is she the only? Is she the only one that you're nice to?
I'm nice to people that I don't have to be put with. I want to go to the front line. I wanted to go and kill bad guys, but no, we're going for peace. And we keep going on shopping missions and getting drunk. I want to battle.
I will battle you, but like I don't want to actually hurt you. Can we fight without hurting each other?
You could arm wrestle.
Let's arm wrestle.
Like
yeah.
the tournament. Do a rematch.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll
I'm not
take
strong,
you
but
on
I'll
even
do-
with my bad arm.
Sounds like a
Okay.
good idea. Get some aggression out.
Let's do it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna lose. I'm excited.
All right. So, Eligor, we're going to slide you over. Tia is basically going to get up and take your place, put you across from Clipper. We are going to do the... I think we did, what was it, athletics before. It was either athletics or straight strength. So we'll do athletics, just in case. So the two of you are going to roll athletics checks as you sit down and stare off and put your arms out. This will go in a back and forth motion. You start in a neutral position. A win gets the other person halfway down. A second win in a row puts their arm on the table. If you win and then they win, you go back to neutral. So it's a back and forth kind of thing.
Gotcha.
I don't anticipate this taking very long.
All right, both of you roll an athletics check. Okay, so Tia, you're like, you put your arm out, and then you got your other arm on your drink, and you go to take a drink, and before you know what's happening, slam your hands on the table. With the natural one, it's just like, boom! And you're like,
Lord,
what?
You're so strong. You're so strong. Let's do it again.
I was stronger.
I think Answer comes up to the table and just sits down with this, blank stare on its face.
See, this
Looking at
is
Rorik.
unnatural. You can't have children.
It, like,
Be
What
nice
is that
to
holy abomination?
it throws its arm up on the table. Oh,
Okay. So who's he sitting across from?
I think Rorik.
All right, Rorik, go ahead and make an athletics check as the creepy little boy comes up and tries to get in on this. Okay.
You beat the boy.
Well, so you lock arms with him. He didn't roll the natural one that the Tia rolled, so you're currently winning, Rorik. Both of you roll athletics again.
Okay. Yeah, he got a 2, so let's hope he does better. Oh gosh.
No movement. You guys are locked in combat. Let's roll again. Answer gets it back to neutral. It's on his way. You guys are locked in
figuring it
neutral. Right? He's kind of learning. It's like machine learning. Oh, he's taking Rorik over the other side. Let's go again.
Oh gosh, I can't beat it.
Oh god!
No, he smashes
the
the
crit
little.
takes it all the way from Answer winning to middle.
Just rips
to
the
Answer
boy's arm
lose.
off.
No, he's still hanging on. Let's go.
Oh,
Roll
okay.
again. Oh, Answer takes it back to neutral.
Oh, I don't know if we could finish this.
We're gonna keep going. Go ahead and roll again. Okay, Answer's pushing it down. Answer's got the lead. Let's go again. Oh, but it goes back to neutral. All right.
Oh no!
Oh, let's see what it is. If it's anything but a 2, we've got our winner.
I think.
Oh, yeah. Boom! Answer slams your hand down and
Okay.
Oh,
Back
there's a roll of it.
Wow, Clipper, that thing's pretty strong.
I know. I think that core that I put in there had a lot of my combat skill. But, it had enough to go around, I think. So it seems to be a lot of the strength that I had in me.
I have a legitimate question because I missed this. What is it? How is it? Why is it?
I'll let Spencer go ahead and explain
So Clipper I was, just on a mechanical sense, I was using, like the Matt Mercer gunslinger, and I think it's good, but it just didn't always click, and so there was a couple cool things I could do. So I switched over to the Artificer class, and one of the Artificer subclasses is the Steel, or the Battlesmith, and they create what's called a Steel Defender, which is like a pet they have. It's like an automaton. And I actually realized in very Spencer fashion, as we were playing, that because I was going to come up with what it was with Tia, but then I was Jim was talking about this puppet that I had forgotten about. And I was like, oh my gosh, I have a puppet. So I just, described this series of events where Clipper was digging around in his chest and he saw his magical core, which is like his heart, but there was like a smaller core next to it. And this is the core that kind of contained his like gunslinger powers. So when he disconnected that, he was kind of left with like a different set of abilities that were being overridden. So in a sense, Answer's kind of like the old Clipper, except doesn't shoot, just runs around and, gets in trouble. That's pretty much it. I don't know how to... Does that make sense?
I'm gonna stop you right there and say all you had to say is I switched classes to Artifice.
Alright, fine.
But Clipper, regardless, explains all of this at the table to you, Rorik, who is, decently intoxicated. The sun has moved from a waning position to nearly completely down, and as Rallick discovered when he went to pull Bivar out of the barrel is now empty. So he is sitting in it kind of sullenly.
Well, then I'll leave him to his grief.
I go over to the side and I start praising this.
Yeah, it's almost gone, but there's a little bit of time. You stand still and put your arms straight out at your side.
Praise it.
Hashtag praise it. So I forgot to mention that via inspiration, Vol and somebody else. I want to say it was Vol and Clipper? Yeah, Vol and Clipper both won inspiration last week. So I'd like the two of you to note that you have 2 inspirations, because after that, I'm going to give everybody one, because that was fucking delightful. I appreciate you guys doing that. That was as good as it gets. Your drunken revelry kind of slows to a lull. You all realize, being out of booze and nearly out of time, that the day is nearly at an end. The market begins to slow down and shudder. People begin to close up their stores. There doesn't appear to be any rush for you to leave or anything like that, if there's anything else you'd like to do. But, you're kind of realizing that the day around here comes to an end. The Borch hasn't moved. He continues to hammer out the projects laid in front of him. A few of the other NPCs that you see on the map start to disappear slowly. Some businesses turning over closed signs in their broken windows.
I think I'm going to turn in early. We have a big day tomorrow.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. If anybody is starting to feel really hungover, I can help.
I need your help.
You hear from Tia from behind you, a muffled voice. I need help!
Uh-oh.
It's Bivar. You get up and you go look, and he's sitting in the barrel, and he's looking down at his hand.
I wind up a thing and I stab him with it.
He says, ow!
You're gonna feel good now.
Wow. Yeah, I feel way better. Thanks.
You're welcome.
He climbs his way out of the barrel. Well, maybe I know how to do that. Let me try.
What did you do to him?
What? You can use robots?
No. I don't even know what that means. He's going to put his hands back on Rallick's skull and be like, be healed! Or, I'm sorry, Rorik's skull. Now I'm doing it. Rorik, your drunkenness fades as Bivar touches your head and casts Lesser Restoration.
No! No!
You kind of come to sobriety, standing on the corner of the field, looking at the sun with your arms straight out, and turn around to see Bivar smiling at you.
Why?
How do you feel?
Sober!
Okay, good, it worked.
Oh, that is good.
High five, Bivar. You are great.
Why didn't you do it on the girl? Why me?
He gives you a high five. Yeah, I think I'm going to go to bed too. Bye!
Bye.
Rushes off.
He's so nice.
He is.
All right. I guess, is that it for the day? I mean, I'm probably going to work on some things, I guess.
Yeah, I kind of want to go work on stuff too, but I already hogged our friend. His name was Bosch, right? I kind of hogged his forge earlier, but I want to use it again. I don't know if he would be okay with that. I should go ask.
We could also set up a... Okay, goodbye.
I'll put his name in chat, but it is Borch.
Dang it.
Like porch,
You were close.
not like Portia.
Right. Not Borcha. Yeah, so the sun is kind of setting. The only real light that remains in town is from Borch's Inferno. Assuming that Tia is going to head that way, what's everybody else doing? Rallic, you said you're going to head in. Bivar already headed in. Vol, what are you doing?
I'd go with Bivar to wherever he was staying. Presumably, it's somewhere else. I think.
Yeah, I think you guys are staying more in like the castle proper, like where your dad is.
Yeah,
is set
I
up.
would assume I had Bivar bought me with this thing too to clear the drunkenness out, and then we'd rush off to Vol's room.
Yeah, yeah. You guys go to trade Pokemon cards and talk about your feelings and stuff. He pops you with the sobriety, and you guys rush off.
Shows him his favorite Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Rorik, now sober, what do you choose to do?
Good question. I don't know. I'm gonna wander around and look for orcs.
Okay.
Very big orcs in particular.
Okay. Clipper, what are you doing?
Clipper is, he has a set of... He's got a lot of different tools now, and he's using the haversack, so he's kind of pulling out some things and putting them onto a table. He takes out an alchemical set and starts making some smoke powder for his gun, and he, starts making a few different like special tonics. Like one glows this bright pink as he kind of infuses it with this electricity from his fingertips, and he is working on this. He's taking like an old shield and he's like levitating it, and it disappears and like vanishes, and then it reappears, and he says, "Oh, that's good, that's good." So he's just kind of practicing a few things.
So, Eligord, you found yourself kind of drinking from your flask and letting the day happen around you when Clipper begins to produce all of these tools and perform this. I guess you might have us muted. But essentially, we'll say Eligord is there, just kind of watching you. Perry's going to go with you, Rallic. He's going to turn in. So, Tia, I guess that does turn us to you. Wait, Rob, can you hear us?
Absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, so Clipper pulled out all of these alchemical tools and began working on them in front of you. Everybody else, well, most people are heading to bed. Is there anything you wanted to do in the market before?
I'm gonna look for the flower, that really nice flower that's, the two items that the witch from Ralik's hometown told me about.
Yeah,
the really nice
okay.
flower that kills people, and the ugly swamp root that kills people.
Okay.
What was the... I think it was... But yeah, I'm gonna see if they have those, or if anyone just has happened to have seen them. I'm guessing that the book that I was given might have pictures, or I drew some pictures on.
Yeah, absolutely. So you would know based on last session that there is a proprietor of a place called Purple Pixie Potion, and that person has both items in stock and is able to show you actually what they look like. So you could either buy them from the store, or you could head up to try to forage them if you'd prefer to do that.
How much are they from this one?
I'll say that one portion of the flour, which would, get you one potion, would cost you about 5 silver. I think that's the flour is the poison, the root is the healing. Now, one portion of the root is going to cost you about $1.50 gold. So, 1 gold, 5 silver, and the poison flower is 5 silver per portion.
This question's for you. Do we have any idea of what these do as of yet?
Yeah, I do, but I understand that I haven't kind of communicated that to you. If you'd like to put a pin in this between now and next
that's all I don't know.
you and I will.
If
Yeah,
there's nothing that it's like I don't wanna, but it's
sure,
something to discover. Absolutely.
totally. Yeah, here's what we'll say. We'll put a pin in this interaction, and between now and next session, I'll lay out both recipes, and you can let me know what you bought.
Absolutely, that works for me.
Cool. Okay. So that covers everybody but Tia. Tia, you see Borch kind of hovered over his forge. Pretty much everybody else except the guards is gone at this point. You said you wanted to go work on something?
Yeah, I think she wants to try to meddle with the clip that she found again, since she has access to like a full forge right now.
Okay, sure. Yeah, you approach Borch. He's standing over his forge. He's hitting. You know, it looks at this point actually that he's working on Eligor's armor, based on what you can tell. The half plate mail that he's building out of the Hydra skulls. He's got like a workstation set up where he's kind of cracking the skulls in a specific way to make parts of a specific size, and forging them to maybe what looks like iron or steel. So that the plates actually adhere to the material itself.
Hey, that is really cool. I'm sorry.
Hello there again. It's
fine.
I
was trying to approach, obviously, so I didn't scare you and mess up whatever that is that you're working on. It looks really cool.
No fears. You cannot mess it up. Give me just a moment. He jumps down off of his forge. He heads over to that pool of water you see. He dunks his whole head in there, and like literally steam rises off of it. And then he jumps back. That's what can I do for you? It appears that all of your friends are gone.
Oh yeah, they all turned in. It's pretty late. I just wanted to see if I could maybe bother you and use your forge again for a little project that I have. It's more of an experiment than a project, I guess. But yeah, is now an okay time?
I could certainly use a break. I hadn't even realized that the sun had gone down. He looks up, and the starry night sky above him kind of confused. I get so lost standing here throughout the day. Yes, please. He moves what he's working on to kind of like a cooling rack, essentially, and says, I could give you a few moments. Is it something I could help you with?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's not. I have this thing I just bought. I'm not really familiar with it, and I'm trying to figure out more about how it works, what it does. And she'll pull one of the clips out of the box and like gingerly place it on the table. Maybe I don't think it's like something that's good to handle without like gloves. Like it's not good to just touch it. So if you want to help, maybe definitely wear some gloves.
Yeah, so he takes a relatively fine pair of tongs off of his rack and picks it up using those and kind of turns it over. And I don't even see a seam in this. It looks like it was forged as a single piece. Where did you find something like this?
Oh, it was just in the shop over there. The crafty one, I forget the name. The wonderful shopkeeper there said that it was part of a salvage haul she took in. I've encountered them before, but I don't know much about how they work. I tried to crack one open, and I don't think my forge was hot enough. My little portable thing that I have here.
He takes some time to examine the thing that you've presented in front of him via your forge, like your toolkit, and says, "That certainly appears to be a handy little device to carry with you. But I can promise you there is not There is not a forge or a star that burns brighter in my vicinity than this one. You could travel 1,000 miles in either direction. If this thing can melt, we can melt it here.
Excellent. Because it's like, it seems like it has moving parts inside. Like, it kind of sounds like it. Or at least the other one I had did. This one I actually didn't check very closely. I don't know if it's still active. But yeah, I'd totally love to try to bust it up, melt it, bust it open. I want to know more about it.
Well, I guess I'll let you take the lead then. He kind of like stands out of the way. You do whatever you would like to do and let me know if I can help you.
Okay, cool. I guess just chime in if you have any ideas or if anything comes to you while I'm working on it, I guess. That would be really helpful.
Would you like to take it apart or melt it?
I mean, I guess I could try to take it apart, and then if that doesn't work, melt it. Because I tried taking the other one that I had apart, and I couldn't. I guess, maybe I'm just not strong enough. That could be a thing, too. I'm not very strong.
Oh, well, I could... Without a seam, I'm afraid I can't think of a way to take it apart without, well, hitting it with a hammer. Well, I'm not sure if I would damage the internal workings of it, but I'd be happy to give it a try.
Yeah, last time I tried heating it up to weaken it and then busting it open with like a sharpened edge and a hammer, but that didn't work.
Well, he produces like a small tray and holds it with a thick pair of tongs and basically says, if you'd like, we could heat it over the forge, and I could try to hit it with a hammer and see what happens.
Yeah, let's do it.
So yeah, you place the clip inside of the tray. He takes it and puts the tray in a pair of tongs, kind of locks them in place, and sets them over the. He reaches underneath one of the cabinets that he has, produces a bottle of wine. He opens it and pours himself a glass and says, if you'd like, you could, it's certainly been a long day for me.
Sure.
Yeah, he pours you a glass and then goes and sits in the little gazebo and waits. It'll probably take a few moments to warm up.
Does this just turn into a date?
Mm-hmm.
You see his face flush, and he's like, "No, you can stand by the forge. I'm simply looking to just take a break. I'm sorry." And he stands up and kind of walks away with his glass over towards the porch.
Oh my god, this is wonderful and so awkward.
Go ahead.
I'm just gonna sit over here and sip this wine very slowly, hoping I don't become very drunk.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not what you were drinking earlier. It's not particularly strong. It's just basically a glass of wine. You see him kind of. He's repeatedly kind of just dipping his hands in the pool and kind of like rubbing the water between his hands and looking at the stars.
Oh, he's so beautiful.
I
will admire him from afar.
Yeah, he's he doesn't even take notice. His passive perception is too low as you ogle him from a distance. He eventually heads back over to the fire and pulls the tongs out with the tray and the clip, and he adheres the set of glasses that you see on his on his portrait to his eyes, and he looks at it and says, well, I think this is awkward. It doesn't appear to be warm at all.
Wait, really?
Yeah, he's reaching for the clip at this point.
Oh, don't touch it. I'll do it. And she'll try to sneak her hand underneath his so he can't actually touch it, so her hand's in the way, and then she'll gingerly tap at it.
As opposed to doing the awkward thing where you both reach for it and touch hands, let's have you do a dexterity check.
I legit did not think about that. Ugh.
Yeah, so he gets there first, and he touches it, and for a moment his hand lingers there before he recoils. He grabs at his eyes with his two hands and takes 2 steps back.
Oh shit.
Ugh!
I said don't touch it. Are you okay?
He takes a moment, rubbing his eyes with the palms of his hand. I think so.
Yeah, that happened to me too, and it wasn't pleasant. It was actually pretty scary. And I want to know what that scary thing is. And yep, we haven't made much progress on that yet, it seems like.
Well, it appears heating whatever this is isn't going to do us much good. It seems to be resistant to heat in some way.
Okay. Maybe we should just try busting it open. I mean, you are pretty clearly much stronger than I am. Maybe I can just hold it and you can whack away at it with your hammer?
If you place it on its side, I'll do my best, but I'd rather not touch that again.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't want you to touch it in the first place, but yep. I'm sorry.
You're right. No, you warned me. I should have listened. That's right over here. And there's this large, like, iron anvil that's built into, like, a wooden frame that's built into the stone platform that you're on. Looks like it's been here a long time. He kind of motions you towards it. You're able to kind of lay the clip on its side. He takes the hammer that he uses and he heats that up for a few seconds just out of habit before realizing that, it's sort of counterintuitive. And then he is going to make a roll. Okay, so this doesn't have his modifier, but his modifier is very... he reaches above his head with one hand and comes hammering down on this thing. Just like completely crushing it, like landing all of his weight in. I need you to make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, boy.
Okay. With a 12, you feel that same feeling you felt the first time you touched it. Your eyesight sort of blackens out and you lose yourself for a moment. When you come to, you see he is in a similar state. He lifts the hammer and the clip remains untarnished.
What is this thing? Jesus. I mean, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do. I tried to identify it, and like all I got was like a very vague transmitter vibe kind of thing from it, and I don't know what it does. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do with this. This is like, it's just not okay. I don't like it.
I don't know what its purpose is, but whatever it is made out of is clearly very strong, stronger than anything I've ever seen. I'd invite you to bring more of it back here if you find it so that I could work with it, but even my forge can't melt it. I guess that's exercise in futility. He reaches for his glass of wine and finishes it. He looks up at the stars and says, as enjoyable as this has been, I have a lot of work to do before the morning comes. I'm sorry I couldn't help you with this project, but if there's anything else I could ever do, please let me know.
Yeah, thank you for trying. I mean, if you want to keep this one, I do have another one.
I don't want anything to do with that, but thank you very much.
Okay, I'm so sorry. It's just like pick it up and kind of run away.
He's like, it's fine. Good night, as you kind of run off into the dark.
Yeah, I just go to wherever we're sleeping, and then I'll stop talking.
No, you're good. You head back to camp. Okay, I'm seeing all these notes now. all these notes to Bivar. Vol, as you say all these things to Bivar, he is completely asleep. But you're free to ask these questions. He's like snoring and like softly farting in the distance as you ask him all of these questions.
Oh yeah, he absolutely just keeps asking them until like middle of the
Right,
night.
like, hey, Bivar, how do you feel about? Yeah. So, the two of you kind of bunk up and have your sleepover. Relic, you manage to find a peaceful enough grove that you can actually manage a few small minutes of prayer. It's hot here, especially in the armor that you wear, but you know it's kind of nice at night. The general humidity kind of lingers, but the heat of the daytime sun does recede enough that you're able to kind of clear your mind long enough to focus your thoughts. Other than that, I think everybody's caught up. And with it being 10 to 10, I guess this is a good place to take our break.
Sounds
We
good.
might run a little bit long tonight if people don't have anything else going, but if so, we could always, put it off. But let's do like a 5-minute break now, and if it looks like we're going to run long, we'll take another break later, okay?
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. See y'all in 5 minutes.
Yay!
Okay, I'm back now. So he was doing some description. That is our great and fearless dungeon master. I just spaced out posting stuff in our Discord chat. So go ahead, Jim.
Fearless is so generous. But the turtles march you through the center of town and down an alley behind the inn. You come to a dead end, a massive tangle of weeds and ivy draping over the stone wall. After a brief pause, the vines slowly begin to pull apart. This process takes a minute or two as the vines retract themselves up and over the wall before a narrow passageway is revealed. The turtles again pick up their pace and march through the opening. Assuming you all follow, you realize now that you're on the other side of the wall. You're still outside, and behind you the vines begin to move back into place one. This winding path leads you up another small hillock to the base of a spire, that was long destroyed. Outside of the spire is a lush courtyard with a large stone meeting area. You see atop the stone dais a number of turtles standing around a throne. Seated in the throne is a turtle wearing a crown of bent sticks and leaves. He's wearing a breastplate that is, as best as you can tell, made of wood there's painted iconography covering it. As you kind of raise yourselves onto the stone dais, you see that the Dalish delegation has already arrived in earnest. You see them standing on one side of the raised platform, and center of which is housing a large, gnarled tree. You climb up the dais and take your positions on your side of the tree. And I will take you there now. So this is sort of the scene you're treated to.
I don't think we changed scenes yet, did we? Oh, we did. Oh, gosh, I'm in DM mode. Mercy.
Yeah, definitely change out of that.
All right.
Before you switch scenes.
Making sure to divine sense was as I get in range of people. Just to...
Sure. Can you link? Okay, you already did. Give me just a second here. Okay, so you climb up the dais and take your position on your side of...
Oops.
You see Vol and Bivar are already here. They are standing on your side of the tree. Vol, Bivar. The adults of the delegation kind of take their place behind you. Two of the turtles from the highest platform descend down into the middle. And I will I'll pull these up one at a time on kind of like a 5 count so that we can get a good look at everybody. But one of them. And the other. Vol, you would recognize this one, the one closest to you, as your mom. She heads down to this gnarled tree in this courtyard. She extends her hand and touches it. She speaks some kind of magic words underneath her breath, and you see several large yellow flowers bloom from the top of this seemingly dead tree. After a moment, a large pod emerges from the center of the flowers, and with a loud pop, it showers the area in spores of some kind. I'd like everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, if you could.
Oh boy.
Anybody who's proficient in Arcana can make a check to see what is happening here.
Okay, hold on. I've got a cat in the way. Question is, am I proficient in Arcana? No, I don't understand my magic. Alright, hold on one second here.
Yeah, do your thing.
Wisdom save. Perfect. Hey.
Okay. So everybody but Vol and Eligor feels this effect take hold. You all kind of look to each other and begin to ask what the effect is when you notice that the folks standing across from you are asking the same question. You realize that you've become under the effect of the same spell that you were yesterday when you ate the berries. The tongue spell is affecting everybody in the shower of basically pollen that's raining down from this plume. Eligor, you hear strange languages coming from all around you. You're not quite sure what's going on. You can either make the save again if you'd like to, or you could try to resist it.
Can I figure out what languages are speaking?
What languages do you speak?
Abyssal and Orc. And Tommy.
Okay, so you definitely hear Orcish coming from across this way as these two folks talk to each other. You don't hear Abyssal coming from anywhere, and you would recognize Common, obviously. But yeah, you pretty clearly recognize the Orcish, and you see Ralik's ears perk up as he's looking at them. It might give you the idea as to what the spell is doing.
So they're speaking many languages, one of them being Orcish.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there's a language coming. I would say there's about 3 other languages coming from these folks over here and the folks on the dais that you do not recognize.
Gotcha. So then, yeah, I'll let the magic.
Okay. Vol, same thing. You would be relatively familiar with this effect, but you can ignore it if you'd like to.
Yeah, I would ignore the save.
Okay. The other turtle that came down from the other side of the gentleman sitting on the throne, which is this one, she reaches out her hand and touches the tree as well. You feel a rumbling beneath your feet and see that roots are emerging from the ground beneath the stone platform. So essentially all around the area over here, to the south and west, and up above to the north, these roots are digging themselves up out of the ground and sort of wrapping the entire area in this bowl. They form a large circle around the entirety of the raised area. Let's go ahead and get everybody making a charisma saving throw, if you would, please.
Oh boy.
Anybody proficient in Arcana can also make a check. I'll say Arcana or Nature, since we're missing our wizard.
Neither. Alright. Ooh.
Okay. So, yeah, Ralik, you feel something else trying to take hold of you, and you're not quite sure what it is. When you
I probably wouldn't be resisting any magic that the turtles are casting on us at this time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you hear Byvar say something to Vol like, "I'm sorry I kept farting. Why did I say that?" You are all under the effect of Zone of Truth. Eventually, a turtle that most of you recognize, all of you should recognize, steps forward. Sage Alkutas Torin of the Dreaming Tree of Alanmir takes a step forward and addresses the crowd. "I hope you can all understand me. If not, please speak to the people next to you and tell them that the magic here is not to do any harm. We're simply trying to make sure everyone can understand each other." The 2 turtles who perform the rituals return to their... Vol, on her way by, your mother kind of puts her hand on your shoulder and gives you a nice squeeze.
Oh, I lost Discord. Just a moment. Sorry.
You're okay. So Rallick leans over and
Oh.
whispers to Vol. Go ahead.
Hey, Vol, is that your mom?
That was my mom, yes.
Oh, wow. She doesn't look anything like I thought she would.
Not sure what you expected, Michelle. I mean, she's beautiful.
Oh yeah, no, she's really cool. Okay.
So the sage continues. As with the traditions, everyone who is present will be introduced. He kind of goes through this long, dramatic speech about traditions and the ways of the world and etc. before eventually coming to the introductions of all parties involved. Now, bear with me here, folks, because I'm going to be bringing up a lot of tokens in a row. It's not all vital information necessarily, but just so that you're aware, once the token pops up, if you click off, you'll get the next one. Sage Alcatas Torin, first of all, presents the king, Koren Tarvol. You see the king sitting on his throne with his crown on. He then introduces Vol's mother, Queen Asen Kalvol. And she bowed. Queen Asen Losevol, the Queen of Dreams. Prince Ren Ilon Vol, Vol's older brother, the heir to the throne.
Fancy.
Prince Ren Goro Vol, Vol's younger brother, who cut out his... Oh, I'm sorry. I got those mixed up. Vol's older brother, the heir to the throne, this dopey-looking fuck. And then Vol's younger brother, who cut his eye out, is the blue guy. Prince Ren Jiro Vol, Vol's younger brother, Asen Lose Vol's son, representing Dale. And Prince Ren Sekvol, representing Boletaria. He would also like to take time to recognize Bivar of Clan Bisic, representative of the Morkendi people and guest of Ren Sekvol. The guests from the Irawaki Plains, Umrabov, Houndmaster, First Ranger, Yotold Ushuk, from the Duchy of Joland, Alchemist, Nivam Tadnal, Pathfinder, Lazulai Cobble, Archwizard, Klekio Clue, and Windspeaker, Isia Flux. And representing the country of Dul Galad, there's a strange pause as the Vol's brother reaches over to the stage and whispers something. He then seems to move past it. Representing Boletaria, Brigadier General Eric Holberg, Captain Lambard Grey River, Bishop Valerian A. Farron, and Rear Admiral Brenoa Raceris. He then goes down the line and introduces all of you as well. Rallick, Clipper, Tia, and Perry, Eligor, and Rorik. You get all of your honorifics, everything you would expect from the scenario. This entire thing has taken way too long. As the introductions continue, you see the bishop, Valerian Efaron. He speaks up and says, with this sort of abrupt interruption, "It is also my great honor to introduce Inquisitor Caleris. You see, from behind the bishop, the light is bending in a very strange way. Suddenly, with a crackle of energy, a familiar-looking figure appears in that very spot. Without waiting for any additional honorifics, they walk atop the dais and take a place on the southern end. There's hushed conversation amongst all in attendance at this unexpected development. All eyes are on this new guest who ascends the stairs and watches stoically. You notice the Aarakocra's feathers ruffle intensely at just their presence. The king speaks up from his throne. If there are any other guests lurking around that wish to be recognized, now would be the time. After a brief pause, there's some additional pageantry, some announcing of processes and titles, and the initial exchange of demand envelopes takes place. Essentially, Vol, you take the Bolitarian envelope, you hand it to your father. Your brother does the same thing. You then take the one from your brother, and you bring it back to the Bolitarian delegation. He does the same thing to the Dalish delegation. He smiles at you and puts his head on your head for a brief moment and says, hey, good to see you.
It's been too long, brother.
What happened to your eye?
Ask that shit over there. For later.
He laughs and says, well, at least you still got one, I guess. He turns around. He turns around and takes his envelope back to his folks.
Yeah, I do the same.
When the envelope is brought down, it's opened up in front of all of you as you kind of break off into your respective huddles. You see a list of demands / peace terms. This is sort of the first rough draft. The nations represented, which I've read off already, will agree to ending all hostilities in exchange for a peaceful end of the war. Around this time, you start to hear some groaning from the other side. They talk amongst themselves and seem to make some edits to their paper. They hand theirs back to Vol's brother, who walks the paper up to his father to the throne. The king reads over the paper and patiently awaits for the other to be returned. This continues for a while. Eventually, you guys get back a piece of paper that reads pretty closely to what you had originally handed them. The independent nations of the Irawaki Plains, the Duchy of Joland, the Ogaquit Highlands, and Dir Galad hereby renounce our allegiance to the Kingdom of Dale. Our nations will willingly join the free republics of Boletaria, surrender all weapons and magics, and turn over all of the agreed-upon fugitives found below. You see the list of names. In return, the free republics of Boletaria will cease aggressions with the Kingdom of Dale and retreat in the name of peace. After a moment, Tia, you're probably the closest. You see the bishop's head kind of turn unnaturally towards the Inquisitor, and he walks down in that way. They hover near each other for a moment.
Unnaturally?
Yeah, he's sort of just like looking around, and then his head kind of snaps to the side. It's not like his head spins around, but clearly he heard something you didn't hear. Yeah. Clipper, you take a great picture of the entire royal family on the dais together, exchanging envelopes, and you get a really nice shot of Vol and his brother with their heads on each other, and then you get a real good one of Vol giving the finger to his older brother who stabbed his eye out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I guess that's his younger brother. So the bishop then walks forward and kind of takes the paper and walks it to the Inquisitor at the south end of the dais. After a brief pause, the bishop makes note on the page, folds it up, and then walks it back to Vol. Vol, you then run it through the ringer of handoffs again, as dull as it is, filled with needless and over-lavish procedure. The king takes some time to read over both notes before speaking. It seems both sides are in agreement of every demand save for two. First, The Boletarians rightfully question the status of the delegates from Dur-Galad. Without a representative of their nation, the pact cannot be completed. Additionally, they've demanded that each of the 4 nations will turn over and he squints at the paper for a moment, their keys to the White Wall of Dale. Done! The gnome down here chips in immediately. The duchy will hand over that information immediately. Bullshit! The male orc yells loudly, the female again resting a hand on his shoulder. The king speaks again. It sounds as though there is some contention on the final, but that doesn't answer the question of the first. The Dalish representatives kind of break off into their own huddle and speak quietly for a moment before the woman down here steps forward. She says, "Apologies, Your Majesty. They never arrived at the agreed-upon meeting spot. Our fear was something perhaps happened to waylay them, like it did the Boletarians," and she sends a smile in your direction. "Their path was supposed to take them through Hercelen, but we never heard from them again." Most of you aren't sure what a turtle frown would look like, but you're guessing that's what the king is doing right now. He ponders for a moment before speaking again. "Then perhaps we can make this whole thing contingent on the recovery of the missing agents from Dur-Galad and the peaceful surrender of the location of each of these keys." There's no response from your side. The Dalish again huddle up for a few minutes before confirming. You basically get a nod at the front of the line. A piece of paper is handed to them. They'll make marks on it. It looks like a rough outline of, well, you know what? I guess let's do this. Anybody that's trying to see what they're doing, give me a perception check.
I guess I would. Oh god. I can't.
Sure. T and Rorik, you get a brief glance at what appears to be an outline of the continent. There are several little X's that litter the page. You're not sure what they might be. After a short pause, next to the Inquisitor, the bishop smiles. There are some amendments that are made to the papers, and they're handed about to be signed. Sage Alkutas Torin actually approaches each of you individually and has you sign the paper. Assuming nobody objects,